Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic today. My name is Emily and this is my Reading Rush TBR. So I believe the Reading Rush used to be the booktubeathon and it always took place for a week during the summer on YouTube. But now it's the Reading Rush and it's hosted by Ariel Bissett and Raylene LeMay. I will post their announcement video and their challenge video and everything else in the description. It also takes place from July 20th to the 26th. I haven't seriously done Reading Rush or booktubeathon for the last couple of years because I've just been so busy. But this year I have the time, so I thought I'd actually put together a serious TBR and actually participate. And you never know, I might do an actual reading vlog, like me reading vlogs. But yes, I have the challenge list in front of me, so let's get right to it. Let's talk about some books. The first Reading Rush challenge is to read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. So I'm December, so I have a choice of turquoise or blue zircon. So I suppose I have the choice of pale blue or turquoise. For this challenge, I picked The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I think this book has been highly praised by Sana from Books and Quills. Most of the covers I've seen for this book are either turquoise or pale blue or have that kind of theme. So I believe this takes place during the late 1600s in Amsterdam. It's about a girl called Nella who marries a very wealthy Amsterdam merchant. The wedding present that her husband gives her is a 9-story doll's house that is an exact miniature of their house and is eerily realistic. But then the miniaturist who made the dollhouse starts to send Nella dolls and furnishings that look exactly like people in their home and seem to predict the future. And it calls into question who is actually controlling the future of this household. This is right in my wheelhouse because I love historical fiction and I love this period of Dutch history. And I also love anything involving dolls and doll houses, even if it's very creepy. So I'm really looking forward to this read. Number 2, read a book that starts with the word The Miniaturist. This is a repeat of the previous prompt, but since Reading Rush is only a week, I'm trying not to put too many books on my TBR. I like to maybe make the prompts overlap when I can. Number 3, read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. So I had more of a TV show in mind for this prompt, and I tweeted at the Reading Rush Twitter, and they told me that a TV show is fine. So the book I am choosing for this prompt is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I have seen most of the show. I haven't seen the last season yet, but I absolutely love the show and I've been wanting to read the book The Magicians for a long time. The way I would describe The Magicians is it's about a magic school, so it's basically very grown-up Harry Potter with a touch of Narnia. Incidentally, it also begins with the word the. So yeah, I am reading The Magicians for prompt 3. Number 4, read the first book you touch. I suspect I will touch the first book that I plan to read, which will probably be The Miniaturist. Number 5, read a book completely outside of your house. This will have to be a brief one because I don't hang out outside very much these days. The most likely book for this prompt is the Metabarons Volume 7 Aghora. If you haven't already heard me talk about it, the Metabarons is a space opera graphic novel series. It's written by Alejandro Jodorowsky and it is about a family of space mercenaries called the Metabarons. I've been really enjoying this graphic novel series. It's got really interesting characters, it's got really weird concepts and great world building. And each volume is only about 50 to 60 pages, so I think this is doable. Number 6, read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. For this, I'm going to pick North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is a book that has been on my 2020 TBR for a while. It's also a famous work of Victorian literature, and I have really been wanting to read more Victorian literature lately. The Victorian era is one of my favorite historical periods ever, and also I like to write in the Victorian era as well. So I feel like reading more Victorian literature would help me get accustomed to that literary voice. And also North and South has a fantastic BBC BBC miniseries on Netflix, so that is also due for a rewatch. The main character is a girl called Margaret Hale. She is moving north with her family because they have fallen on hard times. They have moved to an industrial city called Milton, which is really a fictional version of Manchester. There she meets a mill owner called John Thornton, and they really butt heads in terms of their ideals. But then they start to develop a really lovely relationship, and it all develops from there. I just realized that this would also be a great book to fulfill prompt 3, so we'll see. And finally, number 7 is read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. If I were still living in the States, I would pick North and South, but I live in the UK, which is the same continent where this takes place. So I'm going to pick The Miniaturist. I know the UK technically hasn't completely exited the EU, but in light of Brexit, I think the Netherlands counts as being on a different continent as the UK. So that is my Reading Rush TBR. It's relatively short compared to my other monthly TBRs, but I think it's pretty reasonable given that it's a week-long readathon instead of a month-long. There's 4 books for now. I might end up reading 3 if I decide to read North and South instead of The Magicians for prompt 3. But I like to keep my TBRs ambitious. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel. Or don't, it's a free country. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads, and I will see you in my next video.